What is up, guys? NYK31 here, Madden 20. Gonna do a little something different here in this video. As you guys know, I've been running spread offense of some type all year long, in spite of the meta being what it is. And I've always been a spread offense guy. Those of you who've been following me for a long time know that. Some of you who are a little bit newer, I'm, well, a spread offense guy. Run and shoot, air raid, Chip Kelly style, zone read, inside zone, outside zone, base spread offense, Art Briles style spread offense, RPO, spread quote unquote ISO offense, Gus Malzahn's glorified shotgun wing tee, all of it. I am a big spread offense guy. And as far as Madden is concerned, a question that I've gotten recently quite a bit is along the lines of, NYKia, you make it look pretty easy as far as your videos go playing Weekend League, as far as, how you make your reads. I'm having trouble understanding how to attack this or how to attack that and understanding what I'm seeing. Can you go over what you're doing? And while maybe a little bit too late for the Madden 20 cycle, we still have, we're in the second week of June, we have all of July, and Madden 21 won't be out in late August. What I'm going to show you will always apply to any football game that you play, because what I do is just apply football concepts that are in the game that mirror what I want to do as best as the game that will allow, with tweaks within the mechanics of the game that I have to use in order to get things to work, to get around the limitations of the game. Madden is a really simple game schematically. It's a base play game. You don't have a lot of the window dressing like motions and shifts to add a little bit of disguise to your base and also to punish people for overplaying your base. You have to kind of create that on your own. And what I'm going to show you here is just real basic stuff that, if you execute it right, will work and allow you to move the ball efficiently against most of the types of players you're going to see. You're going to see three types of guys in Madden. You're going to see guys who play serial cover 2, serial cover 3, actually 4 types: serial cover 2, serial cover 3, cover horror show 2, and blitzing psychopaths. Most of the guys that you're not going to be playing MCS level caliber guys very often. Most of the guys that you are going to be playing against are going to be basic. And the key is really to not get too complicated. Less is more. Get good at a handful of concepts against what you're going to be seeing, with enough tweaks to set things up and punish people when you need them. This game here, I'm playing as a guy who's going to be playing Tampa 2, Tampa 2, Tampa 2, Tampa 2 every single down. So knowing that, I'm going to call my cover two beaters every single down. Don't waste plays. Don't call stuff just to call it. Have a purpose in everything that you do. That applies to Madden, it applies to real football. Don't waste downs. That's a big thing. Against this guy, you're going to see me run a lot of inside zone, zone read, spot, 4 verts, smash, and I'm going to keep on doing it until he does something about it. And because I know he's not going to blitz me, at least not quite yet, I can go to more spread out formations. Like here I'm running spot. I don't like the backside of that play whatsoever, the double slants. I'm going to change that to give me a high-low read to the right side, the hitch in the post. I'm going to be looking spot route, corner route, and I'm going to be attacking that space in that 5-yard no cover area as those hook defenders bail out, while also paying attention to where the user is playing. You generally want to throw away from the user as much as you possibly can, or if you're going to attack the side that the user is on, really make sure that you have something dialed up to make them think about what direction they want to go and where they want to play. That spot route is one of the best quick hitting routes in the game. It's basically a better slant route, which is really crazy. Here I'm going to run 4 verts and I'm going to get sacked. That'll happen. He has 2 pass rush elites. Nothing we're going to do about that. But I'm going to go for it here because, again, I know he's going to be playing cover 2. So I'm going to go to the same 4 verts play again. And what he's doing here, he's going to inside third that slot corner there to your left. Here I almost get hosed. I have what I want. Once the receiver clears that corner, the safety is too far inside to get over, but his defender in the slot, who he changed to inside quarter or inside third, damn near got there with his back to the play, which is just nonsense that needs to be taken out of the game entirely. Can't have these defenders playing routes that they don't see. So anyway, we convert there, and again, this is just a box count affair. If he does this, I do that. I tried to bounce that outside there and try. It's really a situation where inside zone is really a B gap run. I guess the guy who pinches that, you can turn it outside and basically turn it into an outside zone. But there I just kind of got stuck in traffic there, really couldn't do all that much about it. I call sail here because I kind of want to get more aggressive at this point down in the field. Attack the middle of the field over his user backer in cover 2. But seeing how he's aligned here, I decided to go with a little RPO action. I get the pass read and convert. Again, in real life, and I said this way back in August and September, you would never defend an RPO like that. But again, mechanically, the way the game is designed, that's the way that they decided to go in order to make RPOs work. So you got to work with that and adapt accordingly. So yeah, I guess a guy like this against guys who play cover 2, you want that short intermediate area underneath the vertical hook zone defenders. Outside on those smash concepts here, hit the hitch. You want to read that corner if you're going to be attacking there and see how he plays, whether he's going to be backing off or playing a harder flat. You can attack that hole behind the corner and in front of the safety to the sideline, and also take your post shots over the middle depending on what they're doing with that middle backer or if they're using them and how well they're using them. And I'm just methodically and efficiently moving right down the field. If he's not going to adjust, I'm not going to adjust. Here I thought I could get a look for an outside zone, and I do. Able to get around the corner there and gain some yards. So it's mixing up the zone read, the inside zone, outside zone, hitting the hitches to the outside, the snag route toward the middle, a shot down the sideline, hitting all levels now. And again, since he's not going to do anything about it, just keep on hitting them. Another inside zone that doesn't do quite as well. And really, guys like this who play like this, they're hoping for a couple of things. They're hoping that you get bored and impatient and do something lazy, or they're hoping that the game screws you somehow. That's basically it. They're hoping for a crazy reaction by their defenders. They're hoping for a enforcer fumble on a catch or on a run. They're hoping for something bad to happen for you because, honestly, running this style of offense, more bad things can happen to you than good if you're not careful. Or you run into those games where no one blocks anything, which we'll get to. And here we're going to run 4 verts. We're going to go right down the seam over the head of the backer, and boom, touchdown. So the ball didn't hit the turf that entire drive. He completed every single pass, nice and efficient, scored, get the turnover here, and he's going to rage quit out. Keep it simple. Schematically, football is not a complicated game. Sometimes people try to make more of the game that needs to be made. It's not splitting the atom. Madden just happens to be a stripped down, simplified version of the simple. Think about it like this. In real life, a team will have, you might have in a real life game, anywhere between 60 to 70 plays in a game. So given that, NFL team will run maybe, or have on their call sheet, between 120 150 plays that they'll take into a game on a given week, and many of those plays are duplicated across various personnel groups and formations. Every team generally has their identity and what they hang their hat on, and they have set up plays and constraints that they go to once they establish how they're being attacked by the defense off of their base stuff and how they're defending concepts that they like to run. Now in Madden, remember how I was talking about how your opponent is hoping that the game will somehow screw you somehow? That's a classic example. He just comes out of his shoes and INTs that. Wow. But anyway, in Madden, you'll have maybe 20, 25 plays in an online game. But unfortunately, a lot of the plays at your disposal don't work. There's not a lot of formation overlap, so you only have a handful of concepts that you can access. So you look for formations that have what you can work with and what you can piece together. Sometimes that's only 1 or 2 sets. That's just the way the game is. Now, the last game was against a serial cover 2 guy. This one's going to be against a serial cover 3 sky guy. So we're going to attack him a little bit differently. I ran a Ohio concept there where I had the Outsiders here running a streak, and the tight end running a out route underneath the curl flat defender. So we're going to look to attack here the seams and the sidelines against this kind of guy. We want to work underneath the curl flat defenders and also attack the sideline in front of the corner, and hopefully wide the curl flat defenders and over them, depending on how they're playing, based off of their cloud flatting, hard flatting, protect the sticks, and all of that. Try to run a touch pass here. I thought I could have some room for that. No, actually audible and just run a dive. But going back to what I was saying, the big problem with these playbooks and Madden, and the reason why you have to streamline so much, is because you will have formations with a handful of concepts that you like, that you can work with, but they'll only be in that formation, or they'll only be in 2 other formations in the whole playbook. And the rest of the playbook is filled with stuff that isn't really very useful for. Like, you'll have playbooks that have, for example, a dagger concept that you really like, but it'll only have that one version of that dagger concept in the entire playbook, and the rest of them either aren't spaced as well, don't have the complementary routes that you would like, don't have the ability based off their formation to have hot routes that you would like to make the play better. So what do? You end up running the most ideal version of the route concept that you can. In a short game with limited resources at your disposal, that's just a smart thing to do. So here now he's going to be in 2 high, so he still might be in cover 3, might be in cover 2. So we're going to have a concept here that attacks both. And he's in cover 2 here, and we hit smash there on the right hand side. And all I'm doing there is just reading the movement of the safeties post snap. Are they going out? Are they going in? Are they spitting down and rotating? The safeties will always tell you what the defense is going to be in post snap. He's still in 3-4 here. He has his rush outside backer all the way over the slot defender. He comes in, easy, 5-yard gain, just an extended handoff there. So again, just picking away against these coverage guys, that's what you got to do. You got to be irritating and then get your deep shots on when they start getting frustrated and start doing crazy stuff like misaligning guys, and they start rage blitzing. So on the march here, gonna run a little bit of a zone read. Backer's going to come crashing in, and I got a terrible block there by Shannon Sharp. I was fortunate to gain the yards that I got. Josh Allen has 93 speed. Just barely got out there to make that a positive game. Ugh. That's the thing I hate about tight ends in this game. The ones that are great receivers, there are very few tight ends in this game that are both great blockers and great receivers. They're either one or the other. And here it's just bull crap. He's throwing a 0 blitz now because he doesn't know what else to do. He's getting marched on, so he figures just start sending people. And that was a case of a combination of the spacing of the routes and how the defenders play and off coverage and the way they move. He was able to deflect the ball that was thrown right behind him, or behind him when he was in man coverage on the underneath route. And again, he's 0 blitzing, dial up corner strike. If you have post flag elite, you can still run those old school bent corners. And we roast him there and off coverage. So again, that's a case of pick away, pick away, pick away. He starts to get impatient and frustrated at being dinked and dunked, starts to call stupid stuff, and he pays the price. Now, against guys who like to jazz up their defense with a whole lot of adjustments pre-snap, you're going to have to change things, and we'll get into that in future installments. But again, most of your opponents are going to be some variations of this. And if you can get really efficient against this kind of stuff or this kind of play style, you'll handle them more often than not. And then as you play more advanced people, you'll figure out things that you have to do in order to, get things done against that. But you first got to be able to get the basics down well, just like anything else. And speaking of wasting plays, I should not have called that. I should have checked out of that. Against a look like that, I should probably go more midline or run trips, Y lead option, or read option out of some type of Y trip set. But I don't really love trip sets in this game because you don't really have a whole heck of a lot. It's so hard to take advantage of the backside. And again, just spacing and user movement and defender movement just makes running a lot of concepts to the trip side really, because a user is going to try to account for that strong side, and attacking users is just, it's a dangerous proposition depending on how good they are with a user-controlled defender. I've used trips far less this year than in any other Madden because of that, and mainly also protection issues against guys who blitz like mad. And this could have been a disaster. got a look there that I was not really quite certain about whether I should hand that ball off or pull it out and maybe try to cut inside, and that was just, ugh, that was ugly. So, two wasted plays this possession. Bad me, telling you what not to do, and I go ahead and do it. So, for Vert's time, I'm going to go right down the seam, avoid his user. His hook curl defender on that side does not get near enough width and depth, and boom, completion. So, we punch that bad boy in. And again, this is pretty basic stuff. Our own Coach Mackey here can attest to that. This is probably, you know, Coach Mackey is a high school football coach. This is like day 1 or 2 install. You know, not very complicated stuff at all. But again, it doesn't need to be. So the first 2 games we saw serial cover 2 and serial cover 3. To get a guess as to what kind of guy this guy will be. What else is left? We only have 2 possibilities, right? Again, how do most people in online head-to-head like to play? Chances are he's going to be 3-4 cover whore show 2, or he's going to be some type of blitzing madman, based off of, you know, past experience and the theme of the video. Those of you who guessed blitzing psychopath, you are absolutely correct. And honestly, my results against guys who play like this are, it's the least consistent out of the type of people that I play. Because sometimes you can do everything right as far as protection and hot reads, and things just not go your way. You can do the right protection setup, pick it up for an entire drive, an entire quarter, entire half, entire game, maybe 2, 3, 4 games in a row. But then you run into those games, you run into those drives, you run into those quarters and halves where you're doing the same protection setups that have been working, and guys just stormtroop their way through. Or weird things happen when you try to get rid of the ball quick. You get pressure inaccurates, you get bad animations, you get guys coming off of dudes who they shouldn't be able to come off of and making plays, and it just creates a big old mess. But you see here, he's going ahead and sending 7 right off the bat, and that spot route is basically a glorified slant route in a situation, and I just catch the ball and, you know, fall to the ground. The thing that frustrates me about this style of play is that there's very few, you know, catch and run opportunities in space, even when you have it, because the secondary defenders, they tackle so friggin' well. The best tacklers on the field are corners and DBs in general in open field situations. It's just nuts. This is the only game in the world where you can send this many people and still have the entire field accounted for at times. It's just madness. So again, we're just going to focus on getting the ball out quick, hitches, spot, maybe a quick little out route by the slot receiver or the tight end. Here we're going to have the outside receiver on a quick in, because if you think that you can get that ball over that misaligned defender's head on the fade, you're sadly mistaken. We cover up the ball, we get hit sticked. I mean, that's the kind. This is why people play this kind of style. There's just very little repercussions for it. You know, in the real, the consequences for playing this type of style are very severe. One missed tackle, and it's a touchdown. Plus, in the real, a quarterback will see all those blitzing defenders, spread them out, and just replace them with receivers running into the vacated areas. And a quarterback in real life can get the ball out to those receivers faster than the defense can react to them. But in Madden, it's almost exactly the opposite. But you see there, again, I hit that little snag route and the spots concept on the move. Again, turning it into basically a glorified slant route. Going to run a little streak outside, quick little out there. I don't know why I got a touch pass there, but again, you're seeing that I'm just taking advantage of the options that I have to work with. Not holding the ball out. I'm not really doing too much in the way of max protection. I just want to get the ball out quick in space as best as I can. This is a easy RPO look here. I notice he's on the safety to the slot receiver's side, so I'm going to run the alert RPO rather than the read. It's a little bit quicker. And again, that serves as an extended handoff. Again, the game does not give you that many quicks, so going back to the original point, there's only a few formations in the game, in a given playbook, that has stuff that you can go to for a wide variety of situations that you end up being stuck in those 1 or 2 formations. there's no reason for me to get out of this set because this set has everything that I need to attack how he's attacking me. So I'd be foolish to deviate and get myself sacked or run plays that are less than optimal. Here I got him out of the blitzing look for a little bit, and we just hit smash there on 4th and 3rd or 4. Hit the hitch. The dope was in cover 4 quarters, and he blitzed all the underneath defenders. So again, the corners are going to release the unders, and there's no one there, so first down. That was like stealing. Now he's back into his misaligned 3-4. He's going to send everybody again. Again, this game is crazy with the player movement, so you can't just run a fade, outside release fade, outside lead fade to that receiver to the left. You'll never get there. I throw away from this user and just get what I can get and keep the ball moving. And, you know, same idea as with playing against the coverage guys. If they're going to keep doing this, you keep doing what you're doing until they show something within their arsenal to stop being stubborn. And here, he comes out at 1-4-6. I'm certain that he picked that formation before I picked mine. So I come out in ace personnel, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just hammer the ball inside. A little 12 personnel there, and we rightfully punish it, and we're going to stay in this for a little bit. Now he's back into 3-4. Going to run a little bit of inside zone read. We get the keep read, and Josh Allen is going to house it. That's always very satisfying. So yeah, he ran a little bit of the cover 4 drop, show 2 blitz everybody. He tried to sneak in 1-4-6. He went pinch dog. That's pretty much what you're going to see most of the time in some way, shape, or form. So I hope this was useful. Again, basic stuff, but the basics can get it done for you. And while this was out of the spread playbook, you know, this applies ultimately to whatever offense you decide you want to run. Same principles apply. So again, hope this was helpful. I'll go into stuff as far as adding some wrinkles here and there, and we'll go from there until we get to Madden 21. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you all later. Peace.